let's move into our slept on game of the week presented by Best Sleep Today. Y'all started that segment last week, and the Best Sleep Today game of the week is UNLV at Boise State. It's brought to you by Best Sleep Today. If you're tired of being tired, Dr. Mason can help. Talk to the team at Best Sleep Today about how you can return to quiet, restorative sleep without a loud, bulky CPAP or expensive surgery. Visit bestsleeptoday.com to learn more. Real patients, real results. Best Sleep Today. UNLV at Boise State. The Broncos are 10.5-point favorites. And Trey, I think you wrote in the notes, if you haven't watched Boise State since getting blown out at South Florida, maybe you tuned in a little bit to their game against Notre Dame. But if that's all that you've watched, you'd probably be excused for wondering why the line is the way that it is. After all, UNLV is 5-0. They've found a way to continue to win. It feels like the vibes are good under and I'm blanking, Dan Mullen. I almost said Dan Lanning. That's the wrong Dan. But it feels good in Vegas. There's an identity there. And yet there are a lot of streaks that UNLV is going to try and break in this game. Boise is 11-3 against the Rebs since 1976. That was the last time that UNLV had a win in this series. Boise is also tied for the longest home winning streak at 15 straight games. They're tied with Alabama. So we've seen that streak fall a couple of times in a row over the past couple of weeks. Maybe if you're picking UNLV, that's one of your data points right there. I also got into the game notes for the Broncos and had a laugh when I noticed a section that said they've won 9 straight on FS1. So whether or not streaks are meant to be broken, you can decide to take that data point however you will. I'm going to take Boise State, though, here. I think I could see UNLV covering this line, and so I could be talked into one way or the other, but I do feel confident that Boise wins this game because even though I think this is UNLV's Super Bowl, UNLV is one of the worst teams in the country at defending the run and getting to the quarterback. If you cannot stop the run on first and second down, if you can't defend the chains on third down, and you can't speed up a quarterback who, when USF or Notre Dame got to him, that's when he really struggled. If you can't do those things, I have a hard time finding something to hang my hat on. So I'm going to take Boise State to win this one. I think they could cover this line. UNLV hasn't done a great job of competing with the Broncos over the past couple of years when they've had a lot of stakes on it. New team, new coaching staff. I get all of that, but I'm going to ride with, I think, what I'm more confident in, what I know, better offense, better defense, better team, I think, at home in this one.
Yeah, I do think Boise State has a lot more paths to victory here. I will give you that. And I think Boise State does ultimately find a way to win this game, but 10.5 was kind of a shocking line to me. And this is another situation where usually I steer into the weird lines. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I just really can't in good confidence predict Boise State to win by more than 10 points right now. If you haven't watched them since week 1, they definitely look better, but they're still struggling to find their footing on the ground. You mentioned how UNLV can get got on the ground, and that is 100% true. They give up a lot of yards on the ground, but I mean, Boise State, this is not last year's Boise State team. They have really struggled on the ground. They had this 3 yards per carry against New Mexico last week, and it wasn't for lack of trying. They had like over 50 attempts on the ground. They're really struggling with the running back rotation. They thought it was going to be Sire Gaines. He hasn't really taken over that job. They've got 3 guys that they're kind of splitting carries, and it's kind of leading to not getting a lot of rhythm. And it's also leading them to be one of the worst teams in the country at converting red zone opportunities to points. They're 115th in red zone scoring positions. Only 76% of the time are they getting any points when they go to the red zone. So you combine that with an offense on the other side of the ball. Like I said, UNLV's defense, they're probably going to give up some points. Like, not even probably at this point. But UNLV's offense, I think, can turn this one into somewhat of a shootout. I think they can keep up with whatever Boise State is able to get. And then if Boise just kind of flubs it up in the red zone, like they tend to do this year, this could get really scary for them in a hurry. Boise's also really struggled against running quarterbacks. They've allowed quarterbacks to run for 43, 76, and 110 already this year. Now they get to face Anthony Calandria, who's averaging 53.8 on the ground this year. So he's a great dual threat. He fits this Dan Mullen offense really well. I just think UNLV is going to put up too many points for Boise State to pull away in this one. Like I said, I like Boise to win, probably by about 4. I think this is going to be a hard-fought game between the two best teams in the Mountain West. And I think we definitely see these two rematching in December in the Mountain West Championship game.
Yeah, Trey, I think I'm with you on this one. I like Boise to win. I feel really confident with them winning this game. I don't like the 10.5 as the number. I don't feel comfortable enough with that number. I think Boise is getting not quite enough credit in what they can do on the ground. They're averaging 4.8 per carry this season. UNLV has given up 5.6 against them. If you're telling me that we can, meet in the middle and round down and we can get 5 yards of carry in this game, I'll take that all day, right? Boise's going to take 5 yards of carry if they can get it. And I think that's probably what you're going to see is a lot of controlling the game and keeping the ball on the ground and doing what they have to do to, ultimately punch things in. I just don't like this when UNLV can score against anybody, and it's the quick strike, it's the pushing it down the field. Calandria leading the conference right now in yards per attempt. Just being able to get the ball down the field and score quickly and put up big numbers. I just don't love that. Also, Jaden Thomas averaging 8 yards per carry right now for them. I just think there's too many big plays that can be had. I think ultimately they win, and I think if you can keep the UNLV offense off the field, keep them out of a rhythm, you're going to have enough opportunities as Boise State, to kind of find a way to win this one. But I don't love a blowout in this one. I don't think that it's a pull away type of game. I think it's one where they're going to kind of annoyingly keep close. It wouldn't shock me if they totally shut down UNLV. It wouldn't shock me at all. But I just think there's too many opportunities for UNLV to score quickly and to put points up that I think they find a way to keep this one sort of annoyingly close to the end of this one.
One thing that'll really help UNLV keep this close, they're second in the country in turnover margin right now. I think they've got 14 turnovers, if I'm reading my notes right. 14 total gained. They've lost 5, so it's a +9 margin. Do y'all know who the only team that they trail is, by the way, in turnover margin?
Who is that?
No idea.
Maryland. The
Okay.
Terps, which... Yeah, I mean,
Bad
just
luck, Terps.
Dude, no kidding.
And Maddox Matson has been prone to some bad games. He had 4 interceptions against Notre Dame. Yeah, they had 3 fumbles against USF when they're playing better competition. It's been a real struggle.
No, you're right. There's a lot of reason to pick UNLV, and I think originally my gut reaction was, I'll take UNLV plus the points. Think Boise State wins just like you guys do. But I am steering into that line a little bit. Boise is just different at home, and their 2 worst performances of the year have been on the road. There's just something about that sacred Smurf turf, man. When they get within the friendly confines, they're kind of a different animal. Sire Gaines is their leading rusher, but not as efficient, certainly as I think we all kind of expected coming in. I think this is a statement game for Boise State. I feel like if they're going to release their hold on the Mountain West crown, it's not going to go lightly. And so I think we're in for a whale of a ball game. I can't wait to watch this one again. FS1, this is a night game, I want to say. Someone maybe see if they can find that game time for me because I didn't write it down.
2:30. It's
2:30. So
it's right there on the graphic. I don't know if you can see the graphic, but it's right.
I cannot.
Interesting. All right.
Yep. I've got a different view.
Riverside, help us out.
I know, than you guys do.